Jana Vallabha Giribharadari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giribharadari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giribharadari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giribharadari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Shri Radhe Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Shri Radhe Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman 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 Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, contents of the Gita summarized, text 69. So I'll read the Sanskrit, the translation. Ya Nishya Shava Bhutanam Tasyam Jagat Jidachari samyami yasyam jagarat grati bhutani sanisya pasyato munahe. Ya, what? Nisa is night. Shava, all. Bhutanam, of living entities. Tasyam, in that. Jagati is wakeful. Samyami, the self-controlled. Yasyam, in which. Jagrati, are awake. Bhutani, of beings. Sa, that is. Nisha, night. Pasyataha, for the introspective. Munehe, sage. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-controlled, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. There are two classes of intelligent men. One is intelligent in material activities for sense gratification, and the other is introspective and awake to the cultivation of self-realization. Activities of the introspective sage or thoughtful man are night for persons materially absorbed. Materialistic persons remain asleep in such a night due to their ignorance of self-realization. The introspective sage remains alert in the night of the materialistic men. The sage feels transcendental pleasure in the gradual advancement of spiritual culture, whereas the man in materialistic activities, being asleep to self-realization, dreams of varieties of sense pleasure. Feeling sometimes happy and sometimes distressed in his sleeping condition, the introspective man is always indifferent to materialistic happiness and distress. He goes on with his self-realization activities undisturbed by material reactions. Om Gyantari Andyasya Gyanjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Yena Tajmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So in Srila Prabhupada's class in Brooklyn in 1966, where he talks about this verse, he, as is Srila Prabhupada's way, he explains it really nicely, this verse. And he says, night is sleeping and the daytime is awake. So if we put these into different mindsets, we can be asleep whilst fully conscious, whilst walking around in this world. So he talks about two classes of intelligent men. And especially in Kali Yuga, the world is full of materially intelligent men. Men who are very good, men and women who are very good at making money, who are very good at exploiting the material energy, who are good at driving forward scientific advancement, and good at pleasing their senses. So ultimately, this is misused intelligence if there's not Krishna at the center. The other intelligent soul is introspective and awake. And that's because they're cultivating self-realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And they're constantly glorifying Krishna in their mind, in their heart, in their activities. And this is the key thing. So if we look at the material world as it is at the moment, our senses are constantly being piqued, if you will, by the media, by film, by everything around us. Everything is very much in the mode of passion. And as we know from the previous verses, the mode of passion, Rajagun, leads to Tamagun. And the onus in this day and age, as far as I can see, is purely about getting ahead of the next person, which is not so introspective and very self-serving. When we turn our lives over to devotional service, we try and live a life where we're cultivating our Krishna consciousness in ourselves, and we're trying to cultivate it in others, and we're trying to find a higher realization for our existence in this material world. And quite often, to quote Srila Prabhupada, we're entranced by the razzle-dazzle on the serpent's head. So we're very attracted. We're like moths to the flame, because none of us like pain. None of us like to be suffering. So we try and appease our pain in very short-lived bursts of what we perceive as happiness, but actually it's very short-lived and unnecessary. So what we're talking about here is a lasting contentment. Because if we can become indifferent to the different modes, the material modes, then we will be more equipoised and in a better place to serve Krishna and to serve the devotees around us. So we're walking around in this fog, and I, for one thing, am aspiring to be Krishna conscious, and I think for many of us, we have glimpses. So we know academically that we're not this body. We know that we're a pure spirit soul on paper. But the realization is often short-lived. I can tell you that on a day when I'm trying to get my kids out the front door, when I'm trying to cook a meal, when I'm trying to get to work, when I'm trying to get a report in. The modes are all pervasive, so this Rajagun takes over. So if we're more sattvically or in the mode of goodness situated, we're more inclined to take towards this path. So, and this isn't just for the benefit of devotees either. This has been seen in the modern cultural zeitgeist, if you will. There was a film about zombies in the 1970s called Dawn of the Dead, but it was actually inspired by the director by watching everyone walking around a shopping mall on a Saturday, entranced by the material nature and essentially like zombies, so lifeless, asleep. So what's controlling this? Why are we all asleep? This is Maya. So there's two main forms of Maya. We have Yoga Maya, which is the Savarup Shakti or energy, which is the direct energy of the Lord. And this enables Krishna to undertake his pastimes in the material world, which is quite funny because when we see Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, they're quite often bemused at these supernatural things that Krishna's doing in Vrindavan, as if it's normal, because they're under the influence of this Yoga Maya. So he needs this Yoga Maya in order to undertake his pastimes. Then there's Mahamaya, which is the external energy of the Lord. And this is outside of the spiritual world. And its aim is to bewilder us, or, primarily those averse to God. And it's personified by Durga Devi. So this is further subdivided into Jiva Maya. So this Jiva Maya is that we forget that we're a spirit soul and our position. And its role is the creation, maintenance, and annihilation, ultimately, of the world. And then the Guna Maya, which is the three modes I've been talking about. So Sattva, Raja, Tama. These are the immediate cause of material existence. And Srila Prabhupada puts it really nicely in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He says, the body is generated from activity, and activity is generated from the body, just as a tree is generated from a seed. So the world is not an illusion. Unlike Buddhists and some impersonalists, the world is not an illusion, it's illusory. So it's what we project onto it through these modes. And this is also depending. The world can seem like a hellish place if you're depressed. The world can seem like a wonderful place if you're in the mode of goodness. And the world can be very exciting if you're in this rajasic state, this rajagun. So we're very sensitive, and even more so with the advent of mobile phones. Like everything, if they're used in the service of Krishna, nothing is ostensibly bad, just like the surgeon's knife could be a lethal weapon or it could save a life. So it's how we Krishnaize, for want of a better word, the things in our immediate vicinity. And one of the beautiful things about devotional service is that it's not one thing. We have artists, we have dancers, we have actors, we have writers, we have scientists, we have pujaris, we have brahmacharis, we have people finding so many different ways to serve the Lord on a daily basis and trying to keep Krishna at the center, which is the hardest bit. You know, wherever you're a brahmachari, or wherever you're a grahastha, people would say it's harder in the grahastha ashram. That depends. It depends on your setup. You know, you can put Krishna in the home, you can read about Krishna, you can hear about Krishna, you can dedicate your work to Krishna. So every ashram has its challenges, and keeping Krishna at the center really has its challenges, especially in this world of distractions. Everything is a distraction because we're running away from our discomfort constantly. We're in this perpetual pleasure trap, if you like. Even the brain is complicit. So the brain will reward you if it feels you've done something good. So wherever that's having a donut, your body produces dopamine. Wherever you gamble, wherever you do illicit behavior, you get rewarded. So Maya is all pervasive. So beating Maya is hard. So what can we do? Well, obviously the benediction for this yuga is to chant Hare Krishna, but it's also how we chant Hare Krishna. So one of the current words that's been buzzing around the zeitgeist for the last 5 years is mindfulness. We use the word mindfulness a lot, don't we? So what is mindfulness, Hare Krishna? It's staying in the moment. Now, I don't know about you, but when I chant my rounds, my brain's like a ping pong machine. It's going all over the place. So to fix the mind up and to become focused on the holy name is very difficult. But this is why we do it every day. This is why we practice. And there's other practices we can do around this as well. So they're not the be and end all, but what we put into our bodies as well will put us on that platform. So if we're eating meat, if we're eating very, very spicy foods, foods in the mode of ignorance and foods in the mode of passion, which a pure vegetarian diet tends to avoid, then our behavior will change as well. So the consciousness we take into our bodies will be expressed in our consciousness as well. What we put into our mind. So I like a devotee said the mind was like a garage. And what do most people put in the garage if they're not using it to put their car in it? They're putting some old garden tools in there, maybe. They're putting a load of junk in there, yeah? Basically. But if you put what you put in your mind will ultimately affect your consciousness for the whole day. And my guru says the things you do on waking will inform the rest of your day. That's so true. So if I wake up and look at Facebook or Instagram or whatever people are into, then my consciousness is not going to be very good. So try and do something sattvic. So you could, first thing you could do when you get out of bed is maybe chant around or maybe just say a prayer, just to set the tone for the rest of the day. And then you'll find that the rest of your day will be more sattvic. And then you'll feel more inclined. And if you are working and you're struggling to get your rounds in one solid chunk in the morning, then chant them over the day. And it's a wonderful way of breaking away from work or whatever responsibilities you have, just for a short time, just to concentrate on Krishna. And I also, for me, the Gayatri mantra as well is 3 times of the day where my mind can be quietened down, because the mind is just a load of chattering monkeys, and especially my mind. So I need all the help I can get. But mindful, non-distracted japa is incredibly powerful. So if you put your mind into your japa and you at least get something done before your day starts, then your day will shape up to be a lot more positive. Okay. So I'm going to close my class, for want of a better word, with a Bhaktivedanta Thakur song called Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago, which means wake up, you sleepy souls. And I think it captures the essence of this verse, that these people sleepwalking through life, myself included, need to wake up. Okay, so Lord Chaitanya has given us the holy name. So it starts, Jeev Jago, Gaura Chanda Bole, Kota Nijayao, Maya Vishakrichera Kole. Lord Gauranga is calling, wake up, sleeping souls, wake up, sleeping souls. How long will you sleep in the lack of the witch called Maya? Brilliant. Bajabo Bolia Esse, Samsara Bitori, Bulia Rohile, Tumi Avidyara Bore. You have forgotten the way of devotional service and are lost in the world of birth and death. Tamare loite ame hoinu avatara, ami vina bandhu, ara ke ache tamara. I have descended just to save you. Other than myself, you have no friend in this world. Eneki Oshadi Maya Nasibaro Lagi, Harinama Mahamantra Lao Tumi Maji. I have brought the medicine that will wipe out the disease of illusion from which you are suffering. Take this Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bhaktivedanta Prabhu Charane Podiya, Se Hari Nama Manta Loilo Majia. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur says, I fall at the Lord's feet having taken this Maha Mantra. So, Jiva Jago, Jiva Jago, Hare Krishna. Does anyone have any questions or comments? No? Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
भक्तिवेदांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी भगवान की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौ भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी द भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Thank you very much. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Raksha Mam Krishna 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 Pahi Mam Krishna 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 Pahi Mam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanshan Shri Rupam Chakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Svam Sajivam Shadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitanscha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna